Welcome everyone. How are you today? It's Miriam here at the Paper Wheel Studio, home of the Wheelchair Crafter. I thought I'd bring you along today while I make a little folio for a journal. I'm going to make like a little matchbook folio. I have had cards like these for quite some time. And I never really used them much when I made my own cards because of how they opened and closed, and I could never really figure out how to use it, I guess. But seeing several people do the little Matchbooks notebooks, I thought, well, I could glue this down part way and create myself a little flip out. It'll give some place for writing or pictures in this journal. So I was just creating more space to add things to it. And I thought I'd bring you along while I decide. I can't decide if I want to put it down like this and have it flip out like that because it would be easy to open that way. Or I could even do it this way and drop it down. That would work as well. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. That'll be like a drop-down journaling spot. So I'll start with decorating my outside. Let me see what I've got here. I just brought along bunches of scraps, extras. These I was going to use in part of my signatures, but I still have these that I can use, and I have my lined paper, which would be really great to create extra journaling space. And then I still have a few digitals here that I have not used and just some random things in my little pile. So let's see what we could come up with for this little folio. Flippy floppy out folio. Whatever you would like to call it. So let's see. I have this large digital with the blue. That would look... I really didn't plan that, y'all. I just saw it laying up there just now, and I thought, man, that would look super awesome on there. And I really don't need to cover it all up since I have my blue background. I have this piece, but I don't think it's quite long enough. Let me see if I have another long, skinny piece in here that might work. See what I've got. I really like this Fragile Handle with Care from the Tim Holtz set, so I want to use that in here somewhere. And I have this about Oh Little Boy Land. What a beautiful spot. Maybe I could put that on the flap. See if there's anything else long here that might work with this. I have a train, which there's a train on the bottom, so that might be kind of cool. Here's a train like that. And that's actually a done pocket that I think I did the other day quickly when I was on here. So let's see what we can come up with for this little pocket folio. Nah, I think these are going to be too short. Yep. What about a train? I don't really like how he fits on there, to tell you the truth. I don't like he has to hang down this way, but if I don't, the smoke will have to be cut off there, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to put this part, after I ink, it's going to go on there. And I think, since I pulled this piece out, I'm going to put it on my flap. Yeah, that works. We'll try rounding the corners on this. So I like the look it will give on here with the already having some rounded pieces there. This corner rounder just gives me a little piece off. I didn't get that one in there right. Let me see if I can get it in there correctly and fix that. If not, I can fix it. Yeah, I can fix it with my scissors. So let's see here. It just kind of takes just the point of the corner off. So how's everyone doing today? I hope you're getting in your craft room and getting some crafting done. And there's a lot of new exciting things happening in April all over the YouTube community. So be sure you look around and check things out. See what's there. On April 1st, tomorrow. No, that won't be tomorrow. By the time you see this video, forget that. It will have passed. I'm trying to record some videos in advance. Where are my scissors? I just had them out here not long ago. Here's some I can use. Buried on the bottom. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of straighten this corner up, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to use my glue stick. There we go. That works for me. So let me grab my thin paper up here that I like to use for gluing purposes and scrappies. Oh, stencil fall. Let's put that one over here. Maybe we'll use it today. So let's see. We're going to put this piece down on here. Yeah. And I'm going to ink around it. Give it that blue chalky hue that I'm using Stormy Sky Distressed Oxide. Most of your oxides are going to give you kind of a little bit of a chalky look. And your inks will give you more of a brighter color, I think. I don't have but one ink one, and I actually think it's Vintage Photo. I have to look at my ink pads and see what I've got here. So we will get this piece down. Down, 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 down. All right. Don't run away off the table, please. I'll put that back up there where it's not going to take off. And we're going to put this guy up here because he might try to take off on us too. All right, there we go. And while I'm gluing this down, I'm thinking if I want to put anything behind a little boy on the bottom, and I don't know if I do or not. So let me see, once we get him on here, if he needs anything. Make sure I glue the right side of this piece. This little poem came out of an Ideals magazine for children. And it talks about Little Boy Land. On the other side, it's a little poem-like. And this was one of the stanzas that talked about Little Boy Land. Little Boy Land, what a beautiful spot. What legions of mystical, curious sights. There are fleet hobby horses for each little tot, and bands of sweet music play all through the nights. Through the nights that are days, for the gleam of the sun beams ever so brightly on that shimmering strand, just over Dream River where soft ripples run and sparkle and glimmer in Little Boy Land. I just thought that would be really cool to include. And I'll ink all my edges. I probably should do that before I put anything else on this. So let me ink around my edges. And my back, I'm not going to worry too much about because it's going to get glued down in this journal. It's going to be glued down, and then this will flip out. Might even glue it down as a pocket and put a tag in. So I'm going to go ahead and take a minute and I don't like how that does, so I'm inking just a little further in than I normally do. It's hard to see it on here, but it gives it just a little bit of a hue along the edges. If you wanted, you could darken this with another color or use your brown inks with the blue. I'm just trying to coordinate everything, and I'm using mostly blue ink in this journal, this Stormy Sky. In fact, I think almost everything I've inked is this color, excuse me if I'm not mistaken. So just trying to cover my white edges here so they don't show. It's hard to get down in that, I don't know if you can see that white edge there, but I can, and I don't want to leave it there. Yeah, that's working. So I'm going to do both sides across here. And it'll also be a lot easier to see. This won't blend in with that other blue. See how it keeps it from blending in there? So let me finish down the sides of this, and I will be done. A little bit more here on the bottom and across this way. Then I also want to make sure I get my inside a little flappy once I lift the top part up. You know, I could just simply turn this into like a policy envelope, but I want to have some flip out spot for some writing in here. So I think what I'm going to do is just cover the bottom square that's on here with some of the notebook paper. Oh, I forgot to put my little boy on the front, and I didn't ink him up. So let's do that next before we do the inside. I got ahead of myself. Sometimes that happens. Okie doke. It's just simply the blue on this is making this look more blue because it has the blue background, but that's all right. I have a tag that might work well with this also, so let me see when we get this done. Maybe my tag will fit because I plan on putting a pocket in here. All right, do we want to put anything else with him behind him or something? Like, I don't know, maybe a little book page of some kind? Let's see what I've got here. That is just about, you know what, if we do this. I like these numbers here on my piece of book page. So let me see if I can use it to pull in, I don't know, just for some decoration, I guess. And I also have my fragile do not drop handle with care. I think I will save that for another space. Just gonna do my edge here. The blue ink, I think, pulls everything together in my journal. I have almost all of them. I've got like one more bit of ephemera that I want to create, and this journal will basically probably be about done. So let's see if we put I don't know if I want to put that on there sideways, though. That's not bad. What if we put our numbers on the outside here? Yeah, I kind of like that. I do like that. Or do we want to put that here, and let's layer another maybe label with it or something? I do have some number pieces and some letters and things. I also have this fly thing from Tim Holtz. Nope. And I have a blue stamp. What if we put a blue stamp on here? We could put the stamp right there. What do you think? Yeah, but I don't know that I want that other head. So let me see what other stamps I have here. Would a tan one work? Yeah. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, I have this little piece. It would definitely probably work. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. All right, that part is decided. So I'm going to get to my glue on my boy here. Bring out my tablet so I can just cover it. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Make sure I get all covered in a purple, which I'm pretty sure I have. And we'll try to get him on here to where this piece is kind of centered here, so it's not. There we go. I'm kind of not horribly crooked anyway. That looks good. Then I'm going to shorten that a bit because I don't like how it comes over the truck ladder. So let me shorten it a wee bit. I think I'll use my scissors rather than trying to tear it. I've already got a little tear in this piece and I don't want to tear it and mess it up here. So let me trim that blank spot off there. And where'd my dauber go? Really? There it is. You guys probably saw it before I did, huh? Okay. Get that piece out of the way. It needs some repairing anyway. Alright. So, again, cleaned your desk off, Miriam. Don't use your desk. Never fails. Always do what I don't want to do, and then I end up with a disaster. I think I just glued my piece. There we go. That's all right. It's going to peel off okay. And I'm just going to put that up here in this corner. I like how it has all the measurements on there. And I'm going to put my little 13 stamp, or whatever you call this little ticket or piece or whatever it is. I really have no clue. It's just a piece with numbers, and it kind of reminds me of a little ticket stub, so we're going to put it on here. See if I can get the backing off of it without too much problem. Yeah, there we go. And this is fairly new. I'm not worried about my adhesive not sticking. So I'm going to put this on here, and I kind of want it right there hanging off of that piece, and I don't want it crooked. There we go. There we go. All right. I could have brought them down a bit and fixed that there, but I also was hoping to put something across the bottom here so my train is not just floating. It has a track there, but my little boy kind of looks like he's floating. So let's see what I have here that maybe I could just put across the bottom. Washi tape. Washi tape. Washi tape, tape. I have some blue checked here. Well, let's just run a piece of that across the bottom. I've not used any of this. It's just was in a bundle that I picked up. I think I got this bunch from Temu. I have gotten most of my washi tape either through Amazon or Temu. Some that I've had quite some time came from other places, but oh yeah, that'll work. I'm just going to put this, and I don't want to go clear the bottom. I want to kind of go to right there at the bottom of my piece of ephemera there. Really stick this down very good. And I had my file here. If I haven't lost it, it's still here. I'm just going to file this off the edges. I like the look it gives when you file the end of the washi tape off your piece of stuff. So I'm going to just gently file this off here. I use a nail file. You could also, I also have some of the little sanding discs from Tim Holtz. You could use those as well. But this is just a heavy-duty nail file. 180. That's what it says on it. Came from Amazon. I buy many things from Amazon. Being in a wheelchair, it's hard to go out shopping, and I can have it. Amazon can deliver what I need usually to my door when it comes to household items or supplies or even scrapbooking supplies. So now we have this. And I want to glue this piece down so that it will function like a matchbook. So I'm going to use my white PVA glue, and I'm just going to glue the not quite half. I'm going to put glue on this not quite half up the flap. Apparently I did not put my pen back in my glue, so it glued close. Craft room reality. I could use my glue gun, but I didn't heat it up, and it's kind of probably buried it. Oh, I want it on this piece anyway. So we're just going to make a change of plans. It won't matter that it got on the other piece because it's fine. So I'm just going to swirl my glue down through here so that it will stick this down. Make sure you get my edge good. Get this edge good so that nothing ends up coming up on me. And now I'm just going to stick this piece down and let me put my pen back in my glue, and I'm going to get my scrapey thing and really make sure that that is stuck down good. And then once that is completely dry, I could bend it back a little, and this will go right in there like that. And it will not hang up on my glue or anything. Yep, didn't get any glue on it, so I know I put my glue back there far enough that I'm good. You could also staple this if you wanted to. I'm just using my glue. So on the inside now, I have this. So I thought maybe I could use a piece of my notebook paper here on the bottom half, like I said. Did I say that earlier? Anyway, this is what I was thinking here. So I'm just going to fold it where I want it. And then I probably will just make sure I got it nice and straight here. And I'm going to fold my piece over as straight as I can, where I want it to come. I think that will be good. So I want to straighten this up here and make sure I fold it evenly up through there. And we're going to get it down good. I really like to get that crease in there, because that crease is what helps the paper to tear where you want it to tear. You could use a ruler, you could cut it with a knife, but I'm just simply folding it and putting a really good crease there, and I'm going to tear on my crease because I like the look that that gives on the edges of my paper. And the paper will really absorb the ink when it's torn that way. Lay that piece aside. Now I want to see how long we want to make it. That's perfect widthwise. That will be great. And let's see lengthwise what I want here. I want to bring it down just almost to the very bottom. So hopefully, yep, looks like I folded that piece straight. And I'm just going to do the same thing here. Fold it up. Get that crease in there real good. Fold it around this way and get the crease in. And I'm just going to tear this down through here. Good thing I didn't do mass make March, y'all. I'm slow at making things. And if I did mass make March, my videos might be multiple hours trying to mass make. So, probably wouldn't be a good thing. My mass make March would probably turn into my mass make May and September, October, and December. Or November, I guess I should say. You know what? This other side of the paper doesn't have any lines. So that's the part I'm going to put face up on here. So let me... put this with my line up and just cover it so I can put it down on the bottom half of this little folio. And I'm not going to put a pocket on the bottom. I think I'll put my pocket on the top, and the bottom can just simply be for writing. So maybe we'll use, how about we use music paper to cover the top? And we'll put a pocket on top of the music paper. Since I have it laying here, that would look really cool, I believe. Okay, so let's see. We're going to put that, get it centered here, and leave just a little bit of an edge. I did not ink this, did I? No, Miriam, you didn't. Can I still get away with inking after I put glue on it? Let's see. Ah! There went my glue stick. to my feet petals. Maybe we can get by without it here. Let's see what happens. I'll need it when I go to put the music paper down, won't I? Yup. Well, as soon as we get this, or I get this down here, I'm going to take and pause my video, and I'll get my glue stick off my foot petals. All right, so get that piece down, get burnished down good, and get that glue piece out from under it before I create a disaster. Pretty sure I got to all my edges good, so I'm just gonna stick it down real good here. I think I got it slightly crooked, but it won't make that much difference when I go to do some more ink around it. It came up just a wee bit, so let's see if we can, look at that. Now, since this was put down here with glue stick, I'm going to try something. Yeah, we'll have to add a little more glue probably, but I went over my fold up here at the top, so let's try this again, see if I can avoid. Start up here at the top, and if I can avoid that fold, I'd rather trim from the bottom than to try to do it from the top and get that in my fold. So there we go. I still didn't get that below the fold, did I? Yes, I did. That's below, right at my fold, so I'm good here. Just gonna put that down best I can. And I will add white glue where I need to. I could use my white glue on my other piece. Maybe I'll just do that, and then I won't have to pause my video here, folks. Get done quicker. That way I won't keep you on here any longer than it's necessary, for sure. Need to glue my bottom back on here. So I'm going to put some around here. Spread it out a bit. And I don't think I'm going to have to trim my bottom. It's kind of close, but I think I'm good. I didn't apparently get enough along this edge up here. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I have this, which has some glue spots that you can see underneath, but that's all right. Let me use my little glue scraper, and I think that'll fix all those little places where I had a little too much glue. We'll just pull it out the side. And some of it's from where I ink things. So let's see, I can go back here and add some little ink here and there if I want. Just kind of grunge it a bit, maybe. You can always sand your paper a little bit. if you need to. So I'm just gonna try to sand off the extra glue or anything that I got on the top here. Okay, there we go. I think I got it all off. Oops, right down here, I didn't know. And I have a couple pieces up here. Gee willikers. Messy crafter today, aren't I? I don't want to sand it so much that I sand a hole in my paper, though. Let's just get the edge here where I had a lot of glue. Try this other edge here. Okay. I will probably come back and sand that some more once it's completely dry. And I'm just going to do some inking here. All right, my phone is really low, folks, so hopefully it's not going to cause us a problem. Let me pause and get my phone plugged in because I don't have it plugged in or we're going to lose contact. Oops, well, my phone died mid-recording, so now that it's charged and I'm back on here, I'll pick up where I left off. I was making this nice blue folio here. I got the top glue down so that this can go under here and fold in like that. And I already put a pocket down in the top. So we have this pocket right here. And in fact, I think that's going to be my, well, I'm going to put in that pocket perhaps. Just a wee bit long here. I think I'll trim it a bit so it doesn't hang up on the top. I can trim it a little bit from the top and the bottom and re-round my corners here. All right. This is just about finished. I'm going to pull out my new little knife that came today from Temu. It has its own little teeny tiny cutting board, so if you're cutting something small, it would work. And for me, I don't have to pull out my larger cutting board to use it. So we're going to just test this little thing here today and see how it works. Let's see. I don't know anything about any of these knives, so let me take a look and venture a guess as to what I have here. Temu has some great crafting supplies. Of course, I don't know how our new president's tariffs are going to affect anything, but all right. I'm not very steady, so let's see here. I could use a ruler, but I'm going to try to go very slow and follow that craft line, and so far so good. Look at that. Back in my groove here. Here we go.
Miriam, here is your reminder.
Oops.
Take your meds, Randy.
Ignore.
Miriam, here is your reminder. Take your meds, Randy.
I bet you I really messed this up because I went crooked. Let's see. We can fix it. Yeah, I went crooked. Use a ruler next time, Miriam. let me just follow this line here. There's nothing on the back, so it's not going to matter. The pattern on the back will not matter here. So, just going to cut across my line. Try to follow the lines of the paper. Wow, wow. So, I got a funny little story to tell you. I was writing in my planner what my videos were for each day because I got a little behind on getting them posted. So I was trying to write what video was for what day in my planner, right? So I wrote this video down, and in my planner I wrote Mini-O Folio. So I guess we're making a Mini-O Folio today, in case you all were wondering. I just left it there and wrote haha in my planner because I didn't want to have to scratch it out and start all over. That's the kind of things I do. So let's see. Yeah, tweezers aren't bad. They're plastic, but they're not bad. I wanted to use them to hold a piece. Let me see if I got good squeezing ability. Yeah, I could use them, and I'd probably hold them in my left hand. So let's do this. Yeah, put glue on it, stick it down. Yeah, they would work. Cool beans. I don't know where that saying came from. If anybody else knows, you can let me know. I have no clue. I just, cool beans. I messed that corner up. There, actually, just slightly. I can fix it with bus scissors. No such thing as a mistake in the junk journal world. You just cover your mistakes with paper, glue, or embellishments, right? Alright. Because I want to make this look just, even though it still has dots, I want it to be just a little grungier looking. So let's get my knife set out of my way here and get my dauber and ink. And since I'm already over my 30 minutes on this one, I'm going to go ahead and grunge it a little. And then I think I will be finished with this after I grunge it a little. Why isn't that closing? Acts like it wants to close, but boy, that knife doesn't want to fit there now. Because I didn't put it on far enough, probably. It just barely fit in the little case. There we go. Well, there we go. Got it now. Goodness gracious. I'll grab my little... Is that just the tiniest cutting board you've ever seen? It's got centimeters marked. And we have 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeters square. It actually says 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters because I guess they're counting the border each a half. So there you go. There you have it. And I need a drink of my iced coffee, folks. Oops. When you spill your own coffee on something, dry it off, and now you have coffee stained ephemera. Perfect. Okay. Get serious here. Finally got caught up on posting my videos, so please be sure you check those out. And leave me a comment or two. I love to hear what people think of my videos. So please, go on there, leave me a comment or two so that I could read them. And I'm just trying to put down as much as my dauber will allow me. This is a lighter blue. It's like a chalky light blue, kind of. Though it does give it depending on how you use it, it can give it a highlighting effect. So let's see. Well, that is not necessarily a good thing to use on this because you can just barely see it. I don't even know if you guys can see it. I think you can see it there, but that's about it with that darker blue there. So we'll stick with highlighting it. And I'm not going to put a tab on it because we do have that upper flap that would get in the way of having a tab. And this particular card is simply blank on the back. Hard disk, so somebody could come along and make notes on the back. And there's room to write in it or post a picture inside. So here we go. And since we couldn't really, let's just kind of get some ink on the dauber and maybe just rub it across that side. What do you think? Think that'll help? Dull that down a wee bit? Yeah, I think so. That way those white on those dots doesn't look quite so white. Okay. There we go. Alright, close the ink, Miriam. Okay. I think I'm just going to put that upside down and hide the fact that it has journaling on the back. And it just fits there in that pocket now. I love how Hey Diddle Diddle is just kind of peeking out when you lift that up. And I had to repair my pocket a bit, so I'm going to make sure it's staying down there. And I'm going to just grunge this bottom up a bit. You can see where I've changed it slightly. Some of it's from the glue underneath, some of it's from where I've inked. So we're just going to just going to grunge it up on the bottom edge here. Just to give it a different look. A little bit of grunginess. Alright, so there we go. There you have it. A little mini flippy folio. Maybe a matchbook folio would be better. It's going to go down on the journal. Then someone can flip this up. And I think, I said I was going to put a tab on there, but I think I'm going to put a tab on the side. So give me a minute here to pull out wherever I put them. I know I just saw a little envelope of tabs, I thought, in here. So I couldn't have gone very far. Going a little, oh, here it is. See what we have here that might work. Ooh, I think that blue stripe might do it. Or maybe this darker blue polka dot. Let's see. Try a couple here and see which I like best. Kind of dark. Let's try this sideways stripe. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. There it is. Put this on and we'll call this project complete. Would I want to use, you know what? Maybe that would bring it all in better with the brown and the blues. Yeah. I'm going to ink up this side and I'm going to glue it down this way. My next journal that I'm making, I've got leftover pages from this, and my intention is to try to use a lot of junky mail type pieces. So we'll see how that one goes. And I'll bring you along on my process. Put the rest of my tabs back in here and I can stick them away to the side in case I need them when I actually decorate my pages, which is coming up very soon. Just making sure I have enough in there to stick this down on both sides. These little glue bottles are great for just putting a little bit of glue out there, and they're not hard to squeeze. If you have trouble squeezing glue bottles like I do, these work really well. You just pull the needle out and you still have a little tiny pinpoint opening there that a straight pin can help plug up, so you really don't need a lid. We'll just put my straight pin back in here so it can do its thing and keep it from plugging. So it'll work next time I glue. All right, let's see here what we've got once we put this on here. Yeah, I like that that will bring in our browns, but I want to bring it down just a wee bit because I don't want it to get hung up in the Matchbook fold part of this. So let's push this down here and give it a minute or two. Is anybody going to be following the April challenge with Scrapping with Tony and Seven Plaza? I thought I might now and then, maybe I could do one of the prompts as part of my 100-day project. Yeah, so now we have this and it's all ready to go down in the journal. And I do like it like that. So that takes care of our mini folio. Thank you for joining me today, and you all have a wonderful evening, and be sure you like and subscribe before you leave. Check out some of my other videos. I also have videos where I've been making clusters, some boy clusters for this boy's journal, and if you are unsure how to make clusters, that might be a good video for you to check out next. You all take care and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye now. You all come back. Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Can you come here a minute? I dropped my pen. I dropped my pen. I dropped my pen. It's over here on the floor.